Welcome to this video. In our previous video, we have discussed a case scenario related to the anatomy of radial nerve, its course, muscle supply, action, and the problems caused due to radial nerve injury. So in this video, we are going to look at some important anatomy steps along the course of the radial nerve. So for this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace the brachial artery. So as you can see from this diagram, this translucent thing is called the axillary artery. So brachial artery is a direct continuation of the axillary artery. This branch of brachial artery is called the profunda brachial artery, which I have discussed in detail in our previous video. So as the brachial artery continues downwards and medially, it reaches a point here where this region is called the cubital fossa, where it lies medial to the tendon of biceps brachii. So in order to explain this, I will show you a near zoomed picture. So as you can see here, it lies in the cubital fossa. So what is a cubital fossa? Cubital fossa is an important landmark of the forearm. So as you can see, the cubital fossa is a triangular structure which is formed medially by the pronator teres, laterally by the brachioradialis, and superiorly it is formed by imaginary line between the medial epicondyle of humerus. So this triangle is called the cubital fossa. So the contents of the cubital fossa is very important to remember, as it is one of the most important anatomical landmark. As you can see, the contents of the cubital fossa can be remembered by a mnemonic MBPS. Okay, so starting from the M, which is refers to as the median nerve, B is for obviously brachial artery, and another B is for tendon of biceps brachii, and S is for the superficial branch of the radial nerve. Okay, so remember this MBBS when it comes to the cubital fossa. So next, as you can see, another important landmark here is after it descends downwards from the cubital fossa, exactly at the level of neck of the radius. So this bone is the radius bone. At the level of the neck of the radius, the brachial artery splits into two branches. As you can see, the medial branch is called the ulnar artery and the lateral branch is called the radial artery. So here, as you can see, the radial artery and the ulnar artery gives off some branches. This is the radial recurrent artery and this is the ulnar recurrent artery. So why it is called as an recurrent artery? So as you know, for example, if this is a bone and this is the arterial supply, so if the direction of the arterial supply is downwards, normally if it is descending downwards, for in case here the brachial artery is descending downwards or the radial artery is descending downwards, and suddenly it gives off a branch proximal to it, just like this. This is referred to as the recurrent artery. So this is the radial recurrent and this is the ulnar recurrent artery. That is one of the important anatomical term which you have to remember. So next, as you can see, now the radial artery is traced downwards, and when it reaches the wrist joint, it takes a turn dorsally and it reaches another important anatomical landmark which is called the anatomical snuff box. As you all know, the first years in the Viva, they are more fond of asking this question about the anatomical snuff box, its boundary, its content, its anatomical significance. So as you can see from this diagram, this is the anatomical snuff box. The lateral end or the radial end is formed by the extensor pollicis brevis and abductor pollicis longus tendon. The medial end is formed by the extensor pollicis longus. So why it is called as anatomical snuff box? Because some people use some illicit drugs to be snuffed in this place, so that it is called as anatomical snuff box. And another important anatomical significance of anatomical snuff box is that its content is radial artery, as you can see from this diagram. So as you can see in this diagram, The content is radial artery. The roof of the anatomical snuff box is made by superficial branch of the radial nerve and cephalic vein. These two form the roof. The floor is formed by scaphoid bone. So in case of scaphoid fracture or scaphoid injury, there will be tenderness in the anatomical snuff box. This is an important sign, the box sign, which refers to the tenderness of the scaphoid bone in case of scaphoid fracture. So after finishing the anatomical snuff box, the radial nerve now again descends ventrally and forms an arch. This is the, here you can trace the radial artery, it went dorsally and again it entered ventrally and formed the deep palmar arch. So you remember it as RD. Radial artery forms the deep palmar arch and this is the ulnar artery. Ulnar artery forms the superficial palmar arch. So these two arches are very important as they form arterial anastomosis, which in turn supplies the digits. Okay, so this is the important anatomy which you have to remember along the course of the brachial artery and the radial nerve. And now finally, what and all you have learned from this video? First, we have learned about the radial nerve's course, its muscle supply, its action, and what are the problems which are caused due to injury to the radial nerve. Then we learnt about the brachial artery anatomy, its course, its branches, and about the recurrent arteries and stuffs like that. And we have also learnt about the cubital fossa contents. Cubital fossa, it is a triangle formed by pronator teres, brachioradialis, imaginary line between the medial epicondyle. The contents is MBBS, from medial to lateral. Then we learnt about the superficial and deep palmar arch of the hand, which is remembered by the mnemonic RD and US. Radial artery forms the deep palmar arch, ulnar artery forms the superficial palmar arch. Then we learnt about the anatomical snuff box and the scaphoid tenderness, which is also referred to as the box sign. Okay, so just with the help of a simple case scenario, we were able to learn this much stuffs related to radial nerve, brachial artery, cubital fossa, anatomical snuff box, superficial and deep palmar arch. So this is the level of importance of anatomy in case of a clinical field. So try to study anatomy as much as possible in a clinical way so that you will remember it better. Thank you. Subscribe our channel and also please leave comments about this video. I know the video quality is not that such great. I am working on it because I am not a big editor or something. So I am working on it and I will try to improve the video quality, also the audio quality. So kindly bear with it. So please give your suggestions and a kind of videos which I have to post. Thank you.